So it's only a few months ago, maybe 4 months ago, that I talked about frost protecting your or winterizing your tropicals. So now let's talk about the other extreme, and that is providing shade for your tropicals. As you can see, thanks to this bamboo up here, it's reaching maybe 40-50 feet high. It is providing quite a bit of shade to my yard. Because of that, a lot of the new plants, this guy right here has just been newly potted. It's getting full shade in the afternoon. I wanted to focus on some of the younger plants here. These guys right here, see how it's getting a fair amount of shade? Mapleberry, coffee. Especially the pendant there. So this right here, these containers are strategically placed here to actually shade this guy right here. He was getting a bit sizzled from the very beginning, and that was back in when we had high 70s, low 80s. But now that we're approaching 90s, over the weekend we actually had close to 98. So he's doing really well now that he's got a lot of shade. Same with this guy right here. So a lot of these newly planted trees, tropicals, will appreciate a lot of shade from, especially in the first year or so. So as you can see, that's where the shade is. Subel, shaded for most of the time in the afternoon. Same with this mango here. It is doing phenomenal. And the things that do not need to be shaded, they are planted in full sun. Including basically everything that you see back here is planted in full sun. With the exception of this Kyo Savoy here, it is getting a fair amount of shade here thanks to this black diamond wax bamboo here. I mean, look at the difference. This guy, the branch that's on the front, it doesn't get a whole lot of shade. However, the ones that are fairly shaded back here, it is growing very nicely. So what happens is, with tropicals, especially young tropicals, when you don't shade them, this is kind of what happens. They get, whoops, well, fell off. It gets sizzled and it just falls off easily. So I'm going to move this guy a bit, but if you look at it, it's getting a fair amount of shade. So when the sun is hitting these plants, let's see if I can get you the temperature reading. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is registering 112 back there. Of course, that's the surface temperature of the sensor. It's not the actual air temperature. So, if you need to, come summer, it'd be nice if you can shade your plants just by even erecting a little shade cloth here. It's I believe that's a pitcher plant. It's the plants that eat flies and other insects. So here's a really good example. This jacket right here is getting heavily shaded. You can see it's getting a bunch of new growth there. Yeah, a lot of these tropicals will appreciate some shade. That is it.